Hi, Tom English again, and we said last time we were going to talk about improper fractions. And an improper fraction is wherever the numerator is larger than the denominator. Let's take a simple one. And let's say we have the numerator 5 and the denominator 4. What we do to change an improper fraction is to divide the denominator into the numerator. And we're going to end up with what's called a mixed number. 5 goes into 4 one whole time. So we now have a whole number, 1, and we have 1 left over. And that 1 that's left over we put back over the denominator. So 1 1/4 is equal to 5 over 4. 5 over 4 is the improper fraction. We reduce it to a mixed number, which is 1 1/4. Now, sometimes the kids get a little confused. For instance, if we're dividing 4 into 5, hopefully they learned in long division, although this isn't that long. We say 4 goes into 5 one time, 1 times 4 is 4, and we have 1 left over. Some of the kids still get confused. What do we do with that 1 that's left over? Well, if we're doing decimals, we'd add a decimal point, a 0, bring the 0 down, and continue. But since we're dealing with fractions, all we do is take that remaining number and put it over the divisor. So the answer then is 1 1/4. Let's take a little more difficult one. Let's say we had 13 over 4. Improper fraction, the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and in this case we again divide 4 into 13. Now this time 4 goes into 13, let's see, 4 times 3 is 12, so we put the 3 at the top, multiply 3 times 4, 12. Subtract 12 from 13, we have 1 left over. What do we do with that leftover? We put it over our divisor. So our answer in this case would be 3 1/4. Now, while we've got that, let's add mixed numbers. How do we add mixed numbers? Well, if we want to add 1 1/4 to 3 3/4, we want to think of this as we have a fractional part and we have whole numbers. All we do is add those. 1/4 plus 1/4 is what? It's 2/4. 3 plus 1 is 4. So our answer is 4 2/4, but we should look at that and say, oh, but that can be reduced. 2/4 is obviously not in its lowest form, so we reduce that to 1/2, and our final answer would be 4 1/2. Okay? Let's make it a little more complicated. Let's try and add some mixed numbers that don't have the same denominator. Okay? Let's say we have 2 3/5, and we want to add that to 1 1/2. We have to add the fractional portions separate from the whole number. How do we add fractions? What do we have to have? We have to have a common denominator. What is the common denominator between 2 and 5? Well, the simple thing is to just say 2 times 5 is 10. So I have to make this into a fraction with 10 in its denominator. The 2 stays, doesn't it? The whole number stays. 5 goes into 10 2 times. So if I multiply this by 2, what do I have to do to the 3 in the numerator? Whatever you do to the denominator, you also do to the numerator. 3 times 2 is 6. So that becomes 2 6/10. Now we have to convert this one. 1 1/2. But we don't have halves, we need tenths, don't we? 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5. So we had to multiply the 2 times 5 to get 10. Whatever we do to the denominator, must do the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5. Now can we add? Yes, because we have the same common denominator. 6 plus 5 is 11 tenths. 1 plus 2 is 3. Is that our final answer? Well, I hope you see that. Oh, no, wait, we've got an improper fraction. So what do we do with that? Well, let's look at that separately. We said to change an improper fraction, we divided the denominator into the numerator. It goes 1 whole time and 1 left over. So this 11 tenths really becomes 1 and 1/10. And what are we going to do with that? We're going to add that to the 3, and so our final answer is going to be 4 and 1/10. So we started talking about improper fractions, got the mixed numbers. We're going to be doing more about mixed numbers in our next lesson. Thank you.